Hello, and welcome to an episode of Nerdmageddon Smackdown, the best debate show on KNWT. This week, we'll join myself, Ben Wester, as your host. We have two fantastic guests. Drew.
Hello, I'm Drew.
Yes, you are. And on the other side, we have Emma.
What's up?
So, we have three really good debates this week. Let's see how it goes. As per a coin toss that just happened, Drew has gone first. So our first topic is the best Spider-Man in celebration of Venom coming out and making a whole bunch of money. It's exciting. So we'll do a best Spider-Man. I believe, Drew, you have Tobey Maguire, and Emma, you have Tom Holland. So, Drew, whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and start your 2-minute countdown, and we can get ready to go. All right?
Okay. So, Tobey Maguire is the best Spider-Man because the movies he's in, the theming behind them are they're very like adult prevalent issues, right? So in the newer ones, the Tom Holland stuff and his character are very like Spider-Man focused issues and less him developing as a person, right? It's more of like a
Debatable.
No, not debatable. Like he's just more of like I'm developing as a superhero and less as a person. And I feel like they missed out with the development that comes with the Uncle Ben stuff that they left out of that. In the Tobey Maguire one, you see that, you see his origin, and it's the first time you see that, so it wasn't boring then. Another cool thing about Tobey Maguire Spider-Man is he tackles the cool part of the Spider-Man lore, which is the black suit, where he like turns edgy, and it's comedic as well as it's a cool like an internal battle he has to deal with. So I think it's more of a interesting character, and his villains that he has to face off against are, I think, more cool and grounded in comparison. Less space stuff and magic stone energy.
Yeah.
More, this dude has biolab stuff, and it's a lot cooler in my eyes. So
Magic stone energy?
Well,
the stones.
the Infinity Stones?
Those.
Okay. Yeah, you got it. I'm with you. And there we go. That wraps up Drew's argument. Beautifully put. Well thought out. I thought it was great. Now let's see if Emma has what it takes to take down your argument. Emma, whenever you're ready, go ahead and smack that button.
So, you said he develops as a person. Tobey Maguire develops as a person. But I would say, multiple deaths that Spider-Man has to endure makes him grow as a person. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. And you were like, the Uncle Ben thing. The reason they didn't do that in Tom Holland's Spider-Man is because we already knew it. They didn't want to waste our time as the audience for stuff that we already knew. I think that was a smart decision. Also, the black suit, Tom Holland also dons the black suit. It is a black suit. Maybe I don't know what you're talking. Okay, whatever. Also, which movies made more money again? Oh, Tom Holland. Oh my God, it's crazy how that works. The argument that I have heard a lot of people make is that Tobey Maguire is a good Peter Parker. Andrew Garfield is a good Spider-Man. Tom Holland is a good both. He's good at Peter Parker and he's good at Spider-Man, which is why I think he's the best Spider-Man. Also, what's really fun about Tom Holland's Spider-Man is it fits into the larger MCU in a way that we didn't get with either Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield. So it's really cool to get to see Spider-Man against other big characters like Iron Man, Cap, Hulk, and get to see him interact with those characters, which I think is really fun. And he's just the right combo of awkward, funny, competent, and intelligent. It's perfection. Also, one of the things I really appreciate about Tom Holland is that he never chooses MJ over being Spider-Man. Every single time he is faced with an opportunity to choose MJ over Spider-Man, he chooses Spider-Man every time. And it is so appreciated so much. I just really love it. And he literally helped defeat Thanos, so I think the Magic Stone argument is out on yours. And we're most likely gearing up for the Sinister Six. So if you want to talk about cool villains, just wait for the new Spider-Man movie in November.
All right. And there we have it. Fantastic arguments from both fronts. We're going to throw it over to our judges. Courtney.
Well, it's just one judge here
Oh,
today.
yeah,
boys,
judge.
But
Yep, you're right.
yes. You know, I don't want to add any bias to this argument, but I will say, personally, I agree with Emma's argument, as well as the fact that she did present a lot of good points, very well thought out, and it also helps that, you know, Tom Holland, he kind of just speaks for himself, his abilities, his personality, and the way he balances both Spider-Man and just being Peter Parker. So this one's going to have to go to Emma.
Fantastic. There we have it. At the end of the first round, Emma, 1 point. Drew, no points, but it's okay. You have a chance to get it in round 2. In celebration, yet again, of the new, what I believe it's called, Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl, a Nickelodeon fighting game, we've decided to have the conversation about what's the best Nickelodeon cartoon. Now, I believe, Drew, you've chosen SpongeBob, and Emma has chosen Avatar: The Last Airbender. 2 fantastic choices. So,
One's clearly better.
well, you know, we'll have the debate decide that. And let's see. We'll go with Emma. Whenever you want to start, go ahead and hit that button. We should be good to go.
All right. So I got a lot to say because Avatar: The Last Airbender is perfection. So first of all, I would like to point out it has a 100% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 99% for audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. The only reason it lost that 1% is because someone said it wasn't long enough. So if that doesn't tell you that it's a really darn good show, I don't know what else does. It has the best, absolute, most perfect character arc for Zuko. If you haven't seen it, you know, if you've seen it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you haven't, let me explain. He starts as a villain and he ends as a good guy. And over the course of 3 seasons, slowly growing and changing. It's not something that happens immediate. It is just the most beautiful, perfect pacing. Everything is spaced out perfectly. What's really fun, every episode stands on its own, but fits into a larger story arc. So you can drop in the middle, watch an episode, and understand what's going on. But then when you watch it all together, it's even more beautiful. It's a little bit like the MCU in that way, which is really cool. They stand on their own, but they fit into the larger picture. Every character is unique and extremely, extremely diverse. And every show has filler episodes, but this show's filler episodes were some of its best episodes, which I think says a lot about it. You should judge a show by its filler episodes because that's how you determine if it's good. They never had a throwaway character, and every single character you learn important life lessons from. So Sokka and Suki, even a person with no powers, can be some of the most important on the team. Toph, your disability doesn't define you, and cut toxic people out of your life. What an icon. We love Toph. Aang and Zuko, they had this really cool parallel where Zuko did something good and it started his evil story arc, and Aang did something bad and started his hero arc, which is a really cool parallel. You see a lot of parallels like that throughout the entire series, but I can't go too much more in depth. The animation was beautiful. They had some really iconic framing. So anytime Zuko is thinking about his past and the lack of honor, you see his scarred side. Anytime he's talking about his future and who he's going to be, you see his unscarred side. And Iroh is the best. That's my argument.
Okay. Very, very strong argument coming from Emma on the side of Avatar: The Last Airbender. Let's see if you with SpongeBob can chip away at that argument a little bit.
We'll see.
And whenever you want to begin, go ahead and hit that button.
Okay. Sorry. So all you said about Avatar, it's good. I like the show. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna say it's bad. Okay. But I'm going with the context of like when I was watching these things, I was like 10, and I didn't understand. So SpongeBob, it's the same way. So Avatar, it's separate, you said, but then it kind of goes into a whole. But SpongeBob is that, but truly that. You don't need any context to fully enjoy it. It is an isolated environment where things can do anything. Anything can happen. It can go as crazy as it needs to.
What's the larger story it's playing into?
Emma?
In SpongeBob, none. I didn't say they have a larger story. It says it is isolated truly, which means it can be enjoyed at any time by any person at any group with any context. Instead of you don't need it with Avatar, but it benefits to have it. And that little bit may cut people out of that. They may not want to jump into that knowing that, even though it's not as important as, say, an episodic thing, like not an episodic, a serialized thing, it's still there and prevalent. And you got to acknowledge SpongeBob is a meme farm, and I find it very enjoyable to watch older episodes back and go, oh, yeah, people still talking about that. It's iconic. People are still referencing old episodes from when it first aired, like, I don't know, the 90s. So, yeah, and it's hilarious. Early seasons of SpongeBob are some really good cartoon humor. It's very funny. So that's my argument.
All righty. Well,
You got 5 seconds.
Well, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Nobody's
Avatar
perfect.
is also funny.
Okay. And there we have it. 2 strong arguments. We're going to throw it over to our judge, Courtney, and see what she has to say.
Personally, I'm surprised that neither of you chose Back at the Barnyard for best Nicktoon, because personally, I feel like that trumps any of the Nicktoons. Emma, I really enjoyed all of your arguments. You made a clear, strong case. Though I kind of agree with Drew whenever, you take into consideration that Avatar: The Last Airbender, Legend of Korra, those are very niche shows. It's a very niche audience who watches them. Whereas SpongeBob is enjoyed by a massive audience comprised of all of these different types of people. And it is a little easier to understand for the underdeveloped brains. So, I will have to give this one to Drew.
All right. There we have it. Drew coming in with a win for undeveloped brains. Good job.
Represent.
Represent. And for our final round, unlike our first 2 rounds that actually were topical, our final round is a joke round that we've decided. We're going to do the best Toy Story movie. There's 4 options. You guys chose 2. Not the number 2, but 2 of the 4. So I don't remember which ones you guys chose. So
1.
Drew, you go first. Whenever you're ready, go ahead.
Okay.
Make sure to hit your button.
Get prepared here.
Give him time.
Okay.
I'm working on it. So, I chose Toy Story 1 because it is where it all began, right? Everything, all the other stuff relies on it as for context. And I really enjoy Toy Story 1 solely because of its very, in comparison to the other ones, I guess not really 2. 2's kind of copy and pasted, but the other ones it's a nice, clean, simple thing that they're doing, a simple tale. There's no grand, scary, there's no villain like that bear in the third one. The bear. Lots of hugs and fun. And the themes behind it are friendship and working together, which are very good themes for a children's movie. It's good themes to instill in a younger audience. And with the limited animation that they had, they told a very good story. So at the time, I don't remember when it came out. I was probably pre my birth.
Yeah, I think it's 94.
Yeah, but it looked kind of, off. But that was just the nature of animation at the time, and I think with what they've done, what they did with that was very impressive. And it establishes a really good set of characters. Woody, Buzz, what is it? Potato Head Man, the Slinky Dog.
Potato Head, Mr. Potato Head.
Mr. Potato Head, the squeaky
penguin?
Penguin, yeah,
Yeah.
I love him.
Mr.
He's my
Squeakers.
favorite. And then for some reason, that porcelain doll.
Bo Peep?
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know why she came alive. I think she was like a lamp or something.
She was a lamp.
Not really a toy, but yeah, good set of characters and a fun story. That's my
Well, and there we have it. Good argument. A little struggle there trying to remember some of the characters' names, but I get it. There's a lot of characters in Toy Story. The movie's almost 25 years old. I get it. I understand. Now, we go to Emma. Whenever she's ready, go ahead and hit that button. She can tell us about the Toy Story movie that she chose.
Okay. So I chose Toy Story 3, and I just first want to address some of Drew's points. So you said that we needed the first one for context, but I would disagree. And the reason I say that is because when I was a kid, the first Toy Story I saw was 2. Made sense to me. I was little. It made sense. It was a movie about toys. So I would argue you don't need the first one for context, that it still makes sense and stands on its own. Also, you said there's no villain in the first one? What about Sid?
He's not the main thing of the movie.
He's a villain, I would argue. And the theme of friendship and working together, that is prevalent, I would say, across all 3 Toy Story films, especially the third one. So allow me to segue nicely into that. So first of all, you mentioned the animation. It was good for the time, but it's not as good as the animation in 3, which that comes with time. It does, and you can see the difference in the third movie. It does look amazing. The cinematography too. Some of the shots they chose were just beautiful. And what's really cool about the third one is you get to see everything come full circle. So they intentionally came out with the third movie when they did, so that it would be kind of an homage to the students, the kids that watched that movie as actual kids, which is why they waited so long to come out with the third one. So it's really, really cool to see that huge time gap, but nothing has changed. It's still just as meaningful. And if you're a kid who watched it, you can relate to that going off to college, saying goodbye to your childhood type story, which I think was really beautiful. And nobody walks away from that movie without thinking like, that was special, that was impactful. It like hits your heart right in the right place. And what's really cool is you mentioned the copy and paste from 1 to 2. This one is very unique. It is not a copy and paste. They do something completely different. And it's got this crazy twisted plot with a deeper parallel about being loved, and I think that's special.
Okay. Strong argument from Emma on the side of Toy Story 3. Now, she mentioned in her argument, this is just a fun little aside from the judge. This does not impact any judging, but I felt like I needed to say something. She talked about growing up with the movie and, watching it. I watched Toy Story 3 the night before I moved up for my freshman year of college and sobbed at the entire ending.
Yup.
Not even the part where all the characters almost die, but the part where he gives his toys away.
Yup.
But I didn't even have to do that. I kept all my toys. They're in my room right now.
I did not cry during the movie.
Really?
No.
You
And I've seen all of them.
Cold
Yeah,
man.
wow. But
I understood the impactfulness. I just didn't cry.
that's fair. But my opinion doesn't matter.
Drew is a stone cold killer. Oh my goodness.
We're gonna throw it to our judge, and she's gonna determine ultimately who wins today's competition. Courtney?
Drew, I think you lose some points for being a heartless monster.
I felt the emotions.
No, it's okay, sociopath. That'll
Whatever. Okay.
Or I'm just kidding. But Emma, you did a great job of, trumping over Drew's points, giving a nice rebuttal to those. And so, Emma, I think you won this round too.
Okay, and there we have it. Emma with 2 points, Drew with 1. Strong arguments on both sides. Emma's maybe a little bit more factual, but Drew's from the heart. From the heart and from the soul.
He's not a heartless monster.
Yeah, he's not a heartless monster. But that was a fantastic game of Nerdmageddon Smackdown. I thank you guys for joining me.
Crisp fist bump.
Crisp fist bump.
Boom.
Good job. Okay. And we'll see you guys next time. Adios.